Thank you so much.
I see that it's $40 out.
Thank you. We made it, boys. We made it. And if you haven't guessed by now what we're doing here, I can't help you.
How's your flight?
It was good. It was good. Just 1 hour, so nothing too bad. I can't believe we're here.
Car's right there. Let me grab it for you right there.
All right. So exciting. Ooh. Let's go wrap this puppy up. That's it. Deed is done. It's mine. On. Okay. Yes. We got it, boys. We got it. Back in the Type R. All right. And then the purchase is not complete without Turtle. So if you guys remember, if you've been with me for a while, and if you have, I love you all. This was Enzo's toy that always hung on the handlebar on the inside. Well, Enzo's too old for that, but now I got Nico, who can now enjoy this in the new Type R. All right, first startup. What are these 3 pedals down here? What do I do with those? I haven't driven a manual in a while. Oh boy. All right. Yes. Look at this. I got a volume knob in here. I didn't have that in my last one. Why don't they say this in any review? It is, I don't get it. This car has wireless Apple CarPlay. Why doesn't anybody mention this? You heard it here first. And so it begins. The long drive home back to Northern California. 5-hour road trip, and I'm starting at 9 o'clock. It's gonna be a long night.
Hi, will you be using your rewards?
No.
Can I get for you?
I'll take a 10-piece chicken nugget meal, large fries, large drink. I specifically brought a towel with me to put on my brand new red seats because I knew I was going to be eating on the road. That is thinking ahead. Thank you very much.
Back.
2:41. We are home. I am exhausted. I'm losing my voice. I'm gonna get some rest. I'll see you guys in the morning. Man, I am so tired from yesterday, but it was so worth it. I can't believe it. I'm still kind of trying to wrap this whole thing around my head, but I'm back in the Type R, boys, and it's an amazing feeling. So anyways, I'm gonna do a more in-depth video about some of the features on this car that so far I haven't really seen videos really pointing out. There's a couple of them out there, but there's a couple of details that I found interesting that on information on the car that wasn't necessarily available. I'll go over with you in a separate video, but yes, I paid over MSRP, okay? And I'm totally fine with it. So here's the thing. When I first set out to start shopping for an FL5, I mean, I've been looking for months and the car just wasn't getting released. But here we are, months later, it's finally released, I finally got it. But in that time, I was getting anxious and I wanted a fun, decent gas mileage daily driver again. And I had my truck and that just wasn't, you know, the fuel economy was non-existent. It was great, don't get me wrong, the truck was comfortable, but you know, hey, I love my cars more than I could ever love trucks. So anyways, when I was doing my search, there were no FL5s until very recently, and so I started looking around at used FK8s like the one I had before. And I was a little bit reluctant because immediately that's a platform I already owned. I didn't want to feel like I was going back into the same car again, which I absolutely would have been unless I went into a newer 2020 or 2021 model. When I started shopping around for prices, that's when I was thoroughly convinced that I'm just going to go with the FL5. Let me give you an example, okay? The cheapest, mind you, the cheapest in the country listed online, there might be something for sale privately that's not listed online, I don't know. But when I was doing my search, a 50,000 mile 2017 FK8, which is the first year it was released, 50,000 miles. This is now 5 years old. Yeah, actually more than 5 years old. 6 years old at this point. It was still selling for 40,000. Actually just under 41,000, 40,986 or something like that. And I didn't want to go backwards. I had a 2018, I didn't want to go down to 2017. In my head, 2019, 2020 was the furthest back that I would go, because at least 2019 I had you get a volume knob, okay, which I didn't have in my 2018. So I started looking at 2019s, and those were 44,000, 43,000 maybe, you know, 45. These are all used cars, used cars. And then I just said, well, screw it, if I'm going to spend that much, let me see what the 2021s are going for. Under 20,000 miles on a 2021, they sell anywhere from $49,000 to $51,000. Excuse me? I am, you know, look, I paid a little over MSRP on my 2018. Not that much over MSRP. I got a pretty good deal. I paid over MSRP on this car, but in all honesty, when I show you guys some of the main differences, I mean, it's really hard to convey over video because you can't touch and feel the car like I can, but just heed my words, okay? The FL5, just from an MSRP to MSRP standpoint, is worth every bit the dollar amount they're asking for it, every single little bit. And what I'll tell you is, take the pricing that I'm kind of giving you all with a grain of salt, because I live in California. This is where I live. Quite frankly, I don't give a damn if you live in Minnesota. Nothing wrong with Minnesota, but if you live way out in BFE and you can get an FK8 for MSRP, the previous generation I'm talking about, or you can maybe even get an FL5 for barely over MSRP. It doesn't matter to me. A lot of dealerships are now not selling out of state, okay, because the thinking now is that, well, first of all, registration is an absolute nightmare because every state has different registration laws. That's a big reason why dealerships are not really selling out of state anymore. So there's that, okay? But even if you find one, another reason why a dealership may not be willing to sell out of state is because if they're going to sell their one and only Type R, which even the bigger dealerships in California only got one. Okay, the dealership I got it from, Gaudi Honda, Alhambra, great place. One of the largest volume Honda dealerships in the entire world, okay? And they only got one, and I happened to pick it up. So maybe that will change in the future, okay? But most of what I'm seeing, this is not what I paid. Okay, I paid less than the numbers I'm about to tell you, but most of what I'm seeing in California anyways is dealerships staying firm on $20,000 to $25,000 markup, and there's not really much below that. There's definitely some above that. Like there's some dealerships asking $29,000. And when I say $20,000 to $25,000 or even $20,000 to $29,000, that might be markup plus something stupid like $8,000 in accessories, okay? Which is all BS at the end of the day. That's just more markup, okay? You're not gonna give me $1,000 worth of accessories for $9,000. It's a markup. At the end of the day, what I paid for my car was 100% worth it to me, given the fact that I am in California and I wanted to get a car sooner than later. The next batch of vehicles are not going to be until next year. Most dealerships only got one. Actually, no, sorry. Most dealerships didn't get anything. If any dealership got anything, it was maybe one. There might be one or two dealerships I got two, and every single one of them are holding steadfast at $20,000 to $29,000 over MSRP in California. Okay, you go out of state, it's a lot less relevant anymore because dealerships just aren't willing to do that as much as they used to. So, anyways, I'm back, guys. I'm back. And before any of you ask, the Supra is not going anywhere, okay? All that's happening now is the Supra will become my dedicated track car, and this guy, this beautiful beast right here, is gonna be my new daily, but I will be tracking it as well. Just famous last words, right? I'm saying I'm not intending to go as crazy as I did on the last Type R. I'll say that for now, okay? I'll just say that for now. Anyways, that is it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much. And look, I gotta close with this, okay? Because I know most of my subscribers are from when I had my FK8, and you guys came on board with me, and most of you stuck with me. Even though I started doing Supra content, which I'm still gonna do, okay? The Supra is an absolute monster. It's becoming even more of a monster. There's no reason not to love and appreciate that car. However, for those of you that stuck with me when I didn't have Honda Civic Type R content, I appreciate you. I love you all very much. More stuff is coming. You know it is. More Type R content is on the way. But that's it for now. Until next time, stay hungry, stay fast, stay tuned. I'm Michael Baxi, and I'm out.
Okay, I've been working like 3 jobs. Probably why I never see ya. Probably why I never have time for the fake friends I won't be ya. Oh God, I've been running now. Up early when the sun is out.